Yeah, good morning. So quadratic equation, this is the next concept in your theory of equations. The equation of form ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0, where a is not equal to 0 is called a quadratic equation in one variable or second degree equation. Okay, so this is a second degree equation. That is why it is called as a quadratic equation. Now in this quadratic equation, why it is called a quadratic equation? Because you have a 2 is the highest degree of the equation. So if you observe here, you have x square. Correct? You have x square. So this is the highest degree of the equation, and that is why this is called as quadratic equation. Since a quadratic equation is a second degree equation, it has two roots. Even though the variable is only one, okay, x is the only variable, but since the highest degree of the equation is 2, it is going to have two roots. Fine. And one more important thing that you will have to understand is that should not be equal to 0. That is, the coefficient here a should not be equal to 0. If this is equal to 0, then there is no meaning for quadratic equation. In return, it is going to become linear equation, that is with the highest degree of 1 for x. What is linear equation? When the highest degree of x or when the highest degree of variable is 1, it is called as linear equation. So this a should not be equal to 0 in a quadratic equation. Then, since a quadratic equation is a second degree equation, it has two roots, and these two roots are called as solution of quadratic equation. Okay, it is called as solution of quadratic equation. So we are going to find the answer by finding two roots of the equation. Okay, so that is a quadratic equation. Now next, types of quadratic equation. What are the types we have? We have two types of quadratic equation. One is pure quadratic equation and the other one is adfected quadratic equation. Now when we are talking about pure quadratic equation, it will be in the form of ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0, where a is not equal to 0 but b is equal to 0. Okay, so this a will have some number, but b is equal to 0. If b is equal to 0, so 0 into any variable or any number will be resultant will be 0 only. Correct? Yeah, any variable into 0 or any number into 0 is 0 only. So in this scenario, we will not be able to give, or we will not be able to solve the problem. So this b into x, if it becomes 0 or if b value is 0, then it is called as pure quadratic equation. Okay, it's called as pure quadratic equation. I'll repeat this again. What is pure quadratic equation? In a normal quadratic equation like this, if the value of b is equal to 0, okay, if the value of b is equal to 0, then this b into a 0 into x will be 0 only. So what is left out with us? We will only have ax square plus c is equal to 0. So this form ax square plus c is equal to 0 is called as pure quadratic equation. Okay, so that is the first type of quadratic equation. There is one more type of quadratic equation, that is adfected quadratic equation. Okay. Now, what is affected quadratic equation? The normal equation like this, that is ax square plus bx plus c. This is the normal equation, right? So this form where a is also not equal to 0, b is also not equal to 0. Okay, a is also not equal to 0, b is also not equal to 0. That is called as adfected quadratic equation. Okay, so two types of equation: pure quadratic equation, adfected quadratic equation. Pure quadratic equation is when b is equal to 0, and adfected quadratic equation when b is not equal to 0. Fine. So did you all understand the concept of quadratic equation firstly? Okay, now let us slowly start solving the problem. Either under, firstly we will take pure quadratic equation, and then we'll go for adfected. Okay, so here they have explained how to find the solution for pure quadratic equation. Okay, a pure quadratic equation in a is reduced to one form. Now, what is a pure quadratic equation? When the value of b is equal to 0. Correct? When the value of b is equal to 0, it is the pure quadratic equation. So here what they are trying to say is that pure quadratic equation is reduced to this form, that is ax square is equal to d. This is the form of pure quadratic equation. You have the highest degree of the variable being 2, that is the quadratic equation, and then that is equal to some constant. Now after this, the next step is I'm going to take a to the other side. So here a is multiplied. If I take them to the other side, if I take them to the other side, it's going to become division. So what is happening? X square is equal to d divided by a. Okay, so this is the next step in the solution. X square is equal to d by a. Then anything, or let's say one side, if you have it as square, and if that square is supposed to go to the other side, okay, let's say this is x square. If it is supposed to go to the other side, it will take a form of square root. Okay, like how we have minus will become plus, plus will become minus. Similarly, if you have a square and going on to the other side, it's going to become square root. Suppose you have a square root on one side and it is going to become square on the other side. I hope you're able to follow it. So here we have square on one side, so it's going to convert to as square root on the other side. Okay, so x square is equal to square root of d by a. So if you see here, x square is equal to d by a, x is equal to the square as is become square root here. So square root of d by a. Now there is a plus or minus here. Now why is this plus or minus given? Because like I gave the example yesterday, any number when you square them, even it is in plus or minus format, you will get the plus square only. Let's take an example. Let us find 4 square. What is the value of 4 square? Can anybody say me what is the value of 4 square? 16. Good. Now can you say me what is the value of minus 4 square? 16 again. Do you get plus 16 or minus 16? Are you sure it is minus? It's plus 16. Okay, people who answered minus, do not get confused. Yeah, why it is plus 16? Let us understand that. Now we have done equations all this long. Okay, so we should be able to answer this. Now 4 into 4. 4 square means 4 into 4, that is plus 16. This is clear. Now, yes, very good. Minus into minus is plus. So when it is minus 4 square, you will have minus 4 into minus 4. 4 fours are 16. Minus into minus is plus. Correct? Minus into minus is plus. So it's not only for 4, any number that you take square, minus 2 square is 4 only. It's not minus 4. Okay? Then 7 minus 7 square is plus 49. 7 sevens are. Right? So like this, you will have for even for minus values, when you take square, you're going to get the plus answer only. So that is why when you take a square root of, now we have understood the straight way, that is 2 square is equal to 4. Okay, now we have understood this way. Now let us understand the reverse way. Now if you take, let me take this example. Okay, now suppose I want to find the square root of 4. Now the square root of 4 can be plus 2 also. 2 square is plus 2 square is 4, which I've given here. But the same square root of 4 can be minus 2 also, because minus 2 into minus 2 is also 4. Correct? So that is why when you are finding out the values from square root, you will always end up with two values. One is going to be plus 2. The other one is going to be minus 2. So which means we are getting two answers or two roots or two values for the equation. Similarly, for this equation here, when you have a square root which says square root of d by a, it is nothing but we have two values, that is plus square root of d by a and minus square root of d by a. Yes, Lakshmi, plus or minus 2. So instead of writing plus 2 and minus 2 like this, what we are going to usually do is we are going to write plus, minus, and then we will write it as 2. So here either it can be plus 2 or it can be minus 2. So did you all understand how the two roots are formed? So throughout this quadratic equation, we will be solving the problems where you will have two solutions, two values. Okay, fine. So let us go to the first problem. This problem is of pure quadratic equation. So we are not going for adfected yet. So first we will solve pure quadratic 1, 2 problems, and then we'll go for adfected. Okay, so first see the question, read the question carefully, and in examinations I expect everyone to copy down the question properly from the question paper to the answer sheet. Okay, that is very, very important. From the question paper to the answer sheet, you have to write the question, write down the question correctly. Do not miss any sign, do not miss any square or anything. You just have to copy down this question, this part of the question. If you copy down, that is enough. Don't write solve for x and all. Okay, so let us start solving this problem. So firstly, what is the question given? 5x square plus 3 minus 12. This is LHS of the equation, is equal to 3 into x square minus 9 plus 48. This is the RHS of the equation. Now what is LHS? Left hand side of the equation. What is RHS? Right hand side of the equation. Okay. Now let us start simplifying from LHS. Okay. So we are going to start simplifying from the LHS. Firstly, we have 5 and then x square plus 3. So we have to multiply. 5 into x square is 5x square. 5 into 3 is 5 3s are 15. So plus 15. Okay. So 5 was multiplied with the expression x square plus 3. So I got 5x square plus 15. Okay. You already got the answer. Lakshmi, Ainas, good. Plus or minus 3. That's the correct answer. Okay. Concentrate here. Then help me solve the problem. So once you multiply, you take out the brackets and then minus 12 is remaining. We will write down as it is. So that is our left hand side expression. Now let us go to the right hand side expression, that is 3 into x square minus 9. So I have to multiply 3 here to this expression. So 3 into x square is 3x square. 3 into 9 is 9 3s are 27, but it is minus 9. So 3 into minus 9 is minus 27. And then I have plus 48 as it is. Did you all understand till here? Good, good. Everybody understood till here? Good. Now let us simplify it further. So 5x square, I'll write it down as it is. Now after this you have 15 minus 12. 15 minus 12 is going to be plus 3. Correct? 15 minus 12 is plus 3 is equal to, now here right hand side, 3x square will remain as it is. 48 minus 27. How much do you get? 48 minus 27. 21. Okay. 21. Good. So we get plus 21. Do not get confused with the signs again. We get plus 21. So we have come to one easy form of the equation here. Correct? So now let us take all the x squares to one side, all the constants to the other side. So what we will do is 5x square. I'm going to get this 3x square to the other side. So it is going to become minus 3x square is equal to 21 will remain as it is. If I take 3 to the other side, it's going to become minus 3. I just interchange the places. Okay. So 5x square minus 3x square is nothing but 2x square is equal to 21 minus 3 is going to become 18. Good. 18. Now next, x square is equal to 18 divided by 2. This is our as usual simplification. Okay. So 2 ones are 2 nines are 18. Correct. So what will it become? X square is equal to 9. Now x is equal to square root of 9. And I always told you, when you have square root, you will get two values. That is, therefore x is equal to plus 3 or x is equal to minus 3. This will be your answer. Everybody got it now? X is equal to plus 3 or X is equal to minus 3. Any doubts in this problem? Okay, shall we solve one more problem then? Similar one? Great. Okay, now let us solve this problem. Solve for x. 3x square plus 2 is equal to 4 into x square minus 3 minus 2. Will you give it a try? Will you try solving this? Try it. I'll do it once again. I'll give you 2 minutes. Try solving it. Oh, girls are very fast. X is equal to plus 4 or minus 4. Okay, good, good. Yeah, others also try. Correct answer, correct answer. Good. Good. Oh, boys also have answered. Good, boys. Okay. So, few more answers. Few more answers to come. Very good. Very nice. I appreciate everyone's efforts here, being attentive and being participative. Good. Okay. So let us solve this quickly then. Since everyone has already solved it, so we'll be able to solve it very quickly. Okay. So let us write down the question once again. 3x square plus 2 is equal to 4 into x square minus 3 minus 2. So this is our LHS and this is our RHS. Correct? Left hand side and right hand side of the equation. So 3x square plus 2 we will keep it as it is. Now right hand side we will do some simplification. Now what is a simplification? We have 4x square minus 3. 4 into. So we'll multiply that. So 4 into x square is 4x square. 4 into 3 is 4 3s are 12. But it is minus 12 because 4 into minus 3. And then minus 2 is there. Then 3x square plus 2 is equal to 4x square minus 12 minus 2 will give me minus 14. So I have minus 14. Okay. Now, next I'm supposed to get all the x to one side and all the constants to the other side. Okay, what we will do is we are gonna change like this. Why? We are gonna take 14 to the other side and we are gonna get 3x to the right hand side. Okay, now why are we doing like this? So that it will be easy for us to get the answer in positive numbers. So 14 plus 2. 14 plus 2 is equal to 4x square minus 3x square. Okay, so 14 plus 2 is 16 is equal to 4x square minus 3x square is 1x square. Fine. Therefore, 1x square and x square is same. So, therefore, square root of 16 is equal to x Yes, square root of 16 is equal to x. Therefore, x is equal to, when will you get 16? It is 4. 4 fours are 16. So, x is equal to plus 4 or x is equal to minus 4. Very good. Everybody got the answer. Any doubts until here from the concept of quadratic equation till the problems? Okay, great. Now, these were pure equations. Now, if you see, you just had x square here. You did not have extra x being given, right? So, when it is pure quadratic equation, when b is equal to 0. So, you only had 3x square plus 2. You did not have 3x square plus x plus 2. This was not there, right? So, that is why this is pure quadratic equation. Now, let us learn the adfected quadratic equation. Okay, let us learn the adfected quadratic equation. Now, in adfected quadratic equation, we have to understand how to solve the problems, because again we will be getting two answers here because it will have two roots. Okay, so let us learn here. Firstly, how to find the solution for adfected, okay, that is adfected quadratic equation. Now, adfected quadratic equation will be in the form of ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0. Okay. Now, in this form, what will happen is we will be using few methods to solve them. Okay. In that, first method is called as factorization method. First method to solve this adfected quadratic equation is factorization method. Now, in this factorization method, let us understand how do we solve it. Okay, so we have ax square plus bx plus c is equal to, bx plus c is equal to, you have two roots of the equation, that is nothing but dx plus e and px plus q is equal to 0. Now, this is better understood when we do the problem directly. Okay, so we'll do the problem first and then we'll come back to this expression and understand how we got this. Fine. So let us go to the problem directly. These are few of the pure quadratic equations. You guys have to solve this as homework. Okay, I shall send it to you in the group. You guys have to solve this as homework. Is equal to 0. Okay. These are also pure quadratic equation. Yeah. Now, what we will do is, wait a second. Yeah, we will start from here. X square minus 4x plus 3 is equal to 0. Yeah, good, Inas. Do it later. Okay. You will have to, all of you should do and send it to me anyways. So do that later. Now concentrate here. So this is in the form of ax square plus bx plus c. Okay. Don't mind the signs. It can change. Is equal to 0. bx. Okay, so you have ax square, you have bx and c. Here, what is the value of a? The value of a will be 1. Correct? It's in the same format. Now, how do we solve this problem? Okay, now first let us recognize what is a. A is equal to 1, b is equal to minus 4, c is equal to 3. Correct? A is equal to 1, B is equal to minus 4, take the sign along with the number, then C is equal to plus 3. We recognized what is A, B and C. Okay. Now next step, what you're supposed to do is you have to multiply A into C. Okay. You have to multiply A into C. What is A into C? 1 into 3, which is nothing but 3. First, recognize ABC, multiply A into C, that is 3 here. Okay. Now find, okay, good Lakshmi. Okay. Now find in the tables, find the multiplication where you will get 3 as the number. Okay. Since 3 is a prime number, it will be divisible by 3 and itself. Sorry, 1 and itself. Right? So what we will do is either we have to take 3 into 1 or 1 into 3. Those are the only two ways that we have. Okay, 1 into 3 or 3 into 1. These are the only options available to us. Okay, so we are taking 3 into 1. But understand, we are supposed to get plus 3. Correct? We are supposed to get plus 3. Now let us check the equation once again, and we will understand how to write the equation. Now if you see this equation, I'm going to rewrite the original question like this: x square, at the end I will write it as plus 3. Okay, x square, at the end I'll write it as plus 3. Now in between you have minus 4x. Correct? Now this minus 4 should be the factors here. How is that factor? If you want to get minus 4 from this, when you add or subtract this, you should be able to get minus 4. So if I change the sign to minus 3 and minus 1, so minus 3 and minus 1 will give me minus 4. Correct? So I can rewrite this equation. I can rewrite the first equation or the question as x square minus, x square minus 3x minus 1x plus 3. Understood? Did you all understand this part? Because this is very important and the major step in the solution. Now, if you see this minus 3 minus 1, minus 3x minus 1x, I will still get back to minus 4x. I'm doing it in a reverse order. Ulta. I'm going ulta, that's all. Okay. So, like this, you are supposed to multiply A into C, check the sign, and then you have to do the factorization. So, this method of finding this multiplication here, okay, 3 into 1, and then minus 3 minus 1, add or subtract should give you the value here. Okay. Next, after this, let us go to the next step. So everybody is clear with the step here. Now we shall take the common. In the next step, we will be taking the common values. So first, we will only consider this first two. Okay. Okay, x we will take common. 1 is not required, Anas. X will take. Padmapriya, you're correct. Okay, x we will take as common. Yes, Pavan, x as common. So if I take x as common, so I keep x outside here. And what is left out? If I take out 1x from x square, x is left. Then if I take out x from the second expression, minus 3 is left. Correct? Minus 3 is left. Now, if I'm talking about taking common, it means for the second part of the equation also, x minus 3 should be common. Okay. So, blindly write x minus 3 in the brackets. Okay. Blindly write x minus 3 in the brackets. Now, think what can you take as common for second part of the equation. Now, if you see here, minus 1 is there. If I take minus 1 as common, will I get back the expression? Minus 1 into x is minus 1x. Minus 1 into minus 3 is plus 3. Be careful with the sign. I'm repeating over and again. Be very, very careful with the sign. If you go wrong here, you will not get the value of x. Okay. So is equal to 0. So I found the common, that is x minus 3. And here x was taken as common.